Daily. I'm your host, Mysticraven. Alright, guys, so, I was doing the dailies and working on keys for the DLC launch tomorrow with Horns of the Reach. And I don't play on my Templar healer that much. I really don't. But I wanted to actually do this video to kind of explain if you're in a party, two huge mistakes that if you see a Templar doing, please try to correct them or reference them to this video right here, because I'm going to show you and tell you guys two of the biggest mistakes that Templars will always make in friggin' trials or dungeons. And I've always kind of laughed at most healers because they just don't get it, right? With some of the changes that have happened since Morrowind, they're kind of even more kind of lost in transition there. But one thing I want to go ahead and show you guys here is Radiant Aura. It's very important that I'm showing you guys this because since some of the changes and stuff, Templars are great utility healers, right? This is very, very true. And you're never really going to completely go away from Templar healers. But one of the major problems that most parties want to do is they want to use Ellie Drain. You'll always hear it, use Ellie Drain. Now I have the Destro Resto build just in case people want to whine about it. But most of the time I will never, ever slot Ellie Drain. The reason being, why? Because I'm using Radiant Aura, right? It's applying the minor magic steal in this ability to all enemies around me, causing me and my allies to restore 300 magicka every second when damaging them. Plus, while it's slotted, I'm getting the minor fortitude, minor endurance, and minor intellect, increasing my health, stamina, and magic recovery by 10%. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the elemental drain here, right? Elemental drain applies the major breach. The tank should be doing that regardless, right, guys? If they're hitting Pierce, you don't need the major breach, right? But look, it applies the minor magic steal, which, guess what? I'm getting with the Aura. I'm getting it. I'm already getting it. Many of my parties, but instead of one target being applied to it, right? Because this only applies to an enemy, where Radiant Aura affects all of them. Why in the fuck do you want Ellie Drain again? Why? I can't see your post. If the tank is applying the Pierce with the major fracture, major breach, right? And you hit this and you activate Radiant Aura, you're going to apply minor magic steal. It's just the way it is, guys. Right? It's a huge mistake. Why would I want to affect only one target when I can affect all of them around me in my radius? Okay. So that's a big whatever. Another mistake that Templars seem to be making since the changes. I use Luminous Shards, right? Okay, this is no surprise. Why do I use Luminous Shards? Well, it's simple. I'm going to go ahead, it's a utility. So it offers a synergy to one of my allies, either restoring 3,906 magicka or stamina, whichever max is higher, right? Now, a lot of what you see going on is them using orbs along with the Luminous Shards. Now, if you wanted to go ahead and say use the energy orbs for the heal, that's fine, but let's take a look at this. Once again, 3,960 magicka or stamina, right? Luminous Shards, 3,960. Now, the nice thing about this, now here's the offset. Now, this is why you have a choice. You can't use both because they both have the same global cooldown. It's pointless to use both, to be honest with you. But here's your trade-off, and this is what I always would tell a Templar if you're going to be a Templar healer. Do you want to offer the additional stamina or magicka, which is 1,980, which is what the Templar has versus any other healer who's going to be using orbs? Or you can use the energy orbs and then have a healing ability on top of the utility. So instead of stacking both, you have the option of one or the other. But stacking both of them with the same global cooldown is kind of like, you know, you're not really getting a benefit from that. Unless you're trying to do ranged, and then why wouldn't you swap it out anyways? But you can target the shards. So a lot of problems that you're going to see is when you see a Templar throwing orbs and shards, they really don't know it's on the same global cooldown. If you see a Templar going ahead and using Ellie Drain for any reason, never knew really why, they could always use Radiant Ore. So, guys, I don't know, man. I don't know. I really don't know, man. You know, I've been doing a lot of things, and I take a lot of pride in what I've given the community in Elder Scrolls, and I love you, my subscribers. I love you guys. You guys are the best. You guys are the best, man. I'm really happy, man, that things have coming, forward, and I've offered a lot of help to players, and especially tanks, man. Just months ago, I used to heal tanks that were 25k or 30k, and they were like little paperweights, and now I see real tanks, pushing around between anywhere from 40 to 60k, and they're holding their own. They're mitigating a lot of damage, and and I used to get my ass reamed for that. I got my ass reamed for diminishing returns, and got my ass reamed for all of these other healer builds that I was doing and providing. And I want to thank you guys for staying with me, the ones who believed in me, the ones who supported me throughout all of this and encouraged me to keep going. I want to thank you, all of you. But, if you see any Templar healer making these mistakes, please, guys, speak up, man, because most of them just don't really get what's going on. They don't understand those crucial mistakes that they're making, because that's a bar spot, man. Like, for me, I would rather take the Purifying Light. A lot of people are like, why are you going to go ahead and start Ellie Drain Purifying Light? Oh, shit, I have the Radiant Ore. Are you kidding me? The minor magic still applied to all enemies around me for 18 seconds. All of them. I can always recast this, right? If the tank's using the pierce like he's supposed to, which I do on all of my tanks, they're getting major fracture and major breach. I don't need that fucking Ellie Drain. I want to go ahead and take advantage of this. Then if I want, I can drop off the Destro Staff, right? So, and instead of elemental damage, it applies to any type of damage, right? That's the nice thing about it, man. Think about that, guys. Think about it. There's been a lot of changes, but elemental drain is going to be the magic steel, right? It's applying the minor magic steel. That's what it does. There's been changes since Morrowind. I want to use the Radiant Ore, not the Ellie Drain, right? It's not going to double apply the effect. I can apply this. This is going to affect all targets, where Ellie Drain's going to only be one. The only difference is it applies major breach. But with this, I'm getting that minor intellect and minor endurance and minor fortitude. I would rather take the regen every day, all day, on top of applying the minor magic steel. So that's what I want to go ahead and do. And then on top of it, I may switch out luminous shards from time to time. Go with the healing one if I need an extra heal, but most of the time with my rotation, I don't. I like to add the Purifying Light, because why? Because when the effect ends, a pool of sunlight remains attached to the enemy, healing me and my nearby allies for 2,753 every 2 seconds. That's a hot. So it's a damaging effect that applies. So when everybody's doing the burn phase, I can apply another damaging effect with another hot on top of it. But that's my play style. That might not be your play style. But watch out for your Templars, man. Help them out. It's a lot of changes, a lot of things that's gone into effect. I'm just trying to help you guys out. I do healing a lot, but I was like, these are two of the biggest mistakes I see Templar healers still making. So Templars are still great. They're still good healers. I never roll 2 in trials anymore. I'm about to do some more trials coming up. get back into it. There's a couple of things I'm looking forward to putting together. I don't know if I'll be doing any records. We'll see. But one of the major things now, I will not roll with two Templar healers. They're just stepping on each other's toes. I'd rather have a Templar whatever, or a Templar Warden, or any type of mixed matchup. Two Templars now, I'm not going to do that anymore. So those days are long gone for me. If I see two Templars, I'm just going to be like, nah, I'm good, man. Or also offer to heal one of my other healers. So yeah, guys, if you have any questions, comments, please post below. Once again, I want to thank all of you for supporting me, and as always, have a nice day.